This is the Grade 2 Mission 1 overview for Zearn curriculum. It could also be the Grade 2 Module 1 overview if you're using Eureka. Working on addition and subtraction to 100. This mission is a review of the final mission or Module 6 carried over from first grade. So before you start into it, you may want to talk to the first grade teachers sending you students to see how far they got. If they were able to cover it adequately, then you can probably move through this mission pretty quickly. If not, you'll need to take a little more time because the skills are highly important, as you'll see. The central focus is addition and subtraction facts to 10. This is a fluency requirement and automaticity requirement really carried forward from first grade, so it should be a review of that. Some of your kids will have it. More of them will have it after a brief review. Those who don't have automaticity of facts to 10, both addition and subtraction, after this mission, will need to take note of and start talking about how to intervene with that problem. And it also focuses on strategies for adding and subtracting within 100, which again is carried over from first grade. This mission focuses on two main strategies: make 10 strategy for addition and take from 10 strategy for subtraction. These are highly cognitively heavy strategies. They're really good exposure, especially if students have already had this carried over from first grade and it's kind of a review. These are really strong, teacher-led, sense-making activities. Students are breaking apart numbers, so there's a high focus on place value with tens and ones, place value understanding and reasoning. So I really recommend that you do them, but don't worry if kids don't master them. Your struggling students are not going to do well with these probably. Some may, which could indicate a strong spatial reasoning skills within some strugglers, which is a good thing to take note of. But not all of them will get it, especially the take from 10. At some point I'll break down the strategy and show you just how heavy it is, so you'll understand why not all kids get it. So if you have kids who are struggling, they're designed to make easier problems of the bigger problems. So the purpose of the make 10 and take from 10, or to take, since they're working on problems within 100, is to focus on the 10s and 20s by breaking these numbers apart and making them smaller as a strategy for adding within 100 larger numbers within 100. So the idea is to make it easier to do those. It makes them doable. I'm not sure it makes it easier. The easiest thing in the end will be using a functional algorithm to do these. For now, counting on, if they don't get these strategies, for fluency practice, have kids just continue to count on, count backwards, give them a hundreds chart or number line if you're within 20, to work on, to use those if they don't have fluent retrieval of facts yet, and just have them count on or count back. That'll work for now for developing more fluent use or fluent arrival at answers. Prerequisite skills, there really are none for this because you're carrying everything over from first grade, so it's all spiraled. The whole mission or module is spiraled because it starts with automaticity with facts to 10, fluency within facts with facts to 20. Again, the second grade standard is to have fluent or automatic retrieval of facts to 20 eventually, but it's not expected at the beginning of the year. Some students will have that, some won't. It's not something to be concerned about yet because you'll practice it. The foundational goal is really the one thing they need to take away is the main thing you're working on here is fluently adding and subtracting within 100. Eventually they'll use a functional algorithm and hopefully eventually the standard algorithm, which is the most efficient method for adding and subtracting larger multi-digit numbers. But for now they're approaching that, they're not there yet. What never goes away, I'll always include this slide to remind you these things you need to work on with all kids periodically. Always work on fluency, eventually automaticity with facts to 20 for second graders. Even when they have it, I mean have mastered it, and you know they've mastered it and they can kill it every time, you'll want to continue to revisit these from time to time with all kids, because unless they're just have an exceptional memory retention, they'll start to deteriorate if they're not used over time. Special notes are for consideration if you just really would like to cut this short to spend more time on another mission, or if you're running out of time, which you're just in mission 1, so you're not running out of time yet. But just a special note here is for fluency practice, use count up or count down. So this could save you time, because if you're working really hard to get kids to master the make 10 or take from 10 strategies, that's going to take you a lot of time to get the majority of your kids to a level of almost automaticity with that skill. So if you for the kids who struggle, who don't get it right away, if you use the anchor strategy of counting up or counting down using a number line or hundreds chart, that will save you some time, because that's something they can all do. If they have one-to-one correspondence, they can all do that, and they can continue to work on solving those problems as you're working on developing more functional ways to do that, more efficient ways to do that. And just take a lot of time to review problems within 100. You wouldn't necessarily have to fully develop or fully present every lesson if they covered this well in the first grade. So you could shortcut and just do a lot of practice with problems within 100 if you would like to get through this mission a little more efficiently.